we'll see a squad. USA, the Delaware Blue Hens. The Blue Hens will kick it away to start us off. He'll start the return inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So Alabama's offense will go on the attack first. And the heart of this team clearly rests on the offensive line. A group of maulers, David, who take pride in what they do.
Man, I think if you're a coach, you take pride. Like, it starts up front. Like, you win and lose games with physicality, and they lean on all the big fellas up front, the hog mollies, the big uglies, the most unselfish players on the field.
It's old school, man. We're in an era of college football where it's up-tempo, spread, air raid. Games are still won and lost, though, in the trenches. And because this is one of the best offensive lines in all of college football, that is a huge advantage this offense takes into each and every game.
Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. Big-time playmakers on the outside. Now, look, Alabama's had great receivers. Ozzie Newsome, David Palmer way back in the day. But nowadays, it's sort of part of the DNA for the Crimson Tide.
Man, the run they had for several years was unbelievable with Judy and Ruggs and Cooper and Devontae Smith. Like, we can just keep going on guy after guy after guy that they had that wore that uniform that was a big-time elite playmaker on the outside.
Makes the grab on the left. Touchdown, Crimson Tide! All that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game and get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Setting up for the extra point after the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it by firing one in from the 13 for the score. Fielded in the end zone, it's Torres. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. The Blue Hens offense will take the field for the first time. And for their sake, they better hope they've solved some of the turnover and protection issues that just plagued them in a nightmare of a game last week, David.
It was not a good performance. And this offense has got to grow. It's got to get better. And they've got to find some ways to move the football. They've got to throw the football, but we can't turn it over. Just those are the critical mistakes. More games are lost than won. And last week, too many turnovers for this quarterback.
Well, they just had too many negative plays and too many turnovers in that game to win. They believe they've got the dudes offensively to win games so long as they stay on schedule. When you're going backwards and you're giving the offense on the other side more possessions because you turn it over, that's a recipe for disaster, and that's something they have to be able to avoid in this game.
That pass not closes. He got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Punt is on its way. Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. He'll start this drive firing. He'll try to do it himself. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment. Alabama quickly back to the line.
He does a good job of dropping back, going through his progressions. Nothing there. What do? Go get some yardage. Make it positive. Don't sit back in the pocket and force something into a bad situation or take a sack. Great job making something out of nothing.
They make the stop. Not a whole lot of ground picked up there, and they'll have work to do to get the first down. Tight end in motion. See how the D reacts. Back to pass on second down. Right on the money. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. The Crimson Tide comes to the line with the 1st and 10. Looking downfield on first down. He caught it! And he was straining for the goal line, but the defense stopped him short. Alabama comes to the line with a 1st and goal. Quarterback on the keeper. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown time!
The defense has got to do a better job of taking the most dangerous man. That's the guy with the football in his hands. Force him to do something with it. You can't just let him keep the ball and go score.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. And now the Blue Hen offense onto the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
He'll throw on third down. Makes the grab over the middle. He'll have enough for the first down, and they stop him at the 45. New set of downs after the completion. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Fighting off the defender.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
A veritable Crimson Tide of noise on Saban Field here on third down. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. They'll try it over the left side. Oh, he's got some space. They make the stop, but not before he wraps up this first period with a huge gain. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Big turning point as we head into the second and get this game rolling again. So they'll go back to work after changing ends of the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Makes the grab. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. First and goal, and this feels like their chance to give them a finish. Fires to the tight end. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. And you'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Blue Hens! That was an absolute sledgehammer of a drive, just taking the air out of the ball.
And it's hard when you run that many plays not to make a mistake and throw an interception or get penalties and put you in a bad spot. But the offense just strung play after play after play together and got in the end zone.
On to attempt the try. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Northwestern is trailing right now, but I'm not ready to say this team
just keeps moving. And the coverage team gets the returner on the ground. Use the play fake, now to throw. He's going to fire deep. Hauls it in on the right. Across midfield and out of bounds at the 49. A big pickup there. This guy is special, and Alabama's had a lot of them. Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, who could make a huge play at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, big plays down the field. You get it to him, you know it could be a home run.
It's a seam wide open. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all away. Touchdown, Bama! That was a lightning-fast drive that ends with a touchdown.
If you can string a few more drives like that together, man, we might as well get our popcorn out because we're going to get a lot of scoring.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Guys, the Blue Hen offense going to work. They'll go to the ground. He gets nothing, and they're staying stubborn with this running game, but at some point you're going to have to change your thought process. Going to swing it on 2nd down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. And the Blue Hens will punt this one away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. No fair catches here, looking for room. And there he goes. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. He did that one all by himself. Make a few guys miss, turn on the afterburners, and boom, everybody's toast.
And that's why you got him back deep, because that guy can do that. You got to be explosive and quick and have good vision, and you see all those things on one punt return. Takes it back to the house, makes people miss, turning on the gas. Great job, great return.
And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Man, you just can't put a price on having a guy like that back there to return punts, and he turned that one into a touchdown. He'll take the return, try to get better field position. And the return man reaches the... This is what you're looking for when you have the better team. Go out and show it. Don't fool around with them. Go out and play to a... is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count. And the Mountaineers will put total leather and will get started. And he's coming out of the end zone. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the Alabama Crimson Tide offense will take the field for the first possession of this game. We have got a tremendous matchup between these two running backs, both stars in their own right, and David, both ready to make a huge impact.
I mean, how fun is it to have two guys, one on each side, when they have the football, like they can go the distance. Just dynamic speed, great vision. These defenses are in trouble because these guys can touch it a bunch of different ways, and Palmer, they can hit home runs from anywhere on the field.
And I think what makes them really unique too, David, is that they're very versatile guys. Both guys can run between the tackle box. They can take it outside. They can both catch.
Breaks into the open. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Alabama!
How about that first drive? The hardest thing to do in college football is win on the road. They're the underdog coming into a hostile environment. What do? Possession one, go right down the field and shut everybody in this building up.
Getting ready for the extra point after the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. This offense prides itself on going after you, and they did with that long touchdown pass to finish off a two-play drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they'd get him on the ground at the 20. The Mountaineers offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country. And how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make a play? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups, or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the smallest windows, but you're right. He's got to pick his battles and be careful when he decides to attack this guy, because he has picked off some really good quarterbacks in the past, and you know he's just licking his chops, hoping for a chance today.
Tries to find a little more running room on that return, but he'll be stopped at the 36. Here comes that Alabama offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Quick strike complete. There he goes. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. Alabama pushing the tempo.
All right, defense, you got to turn the page. You just gave up an explosive play through the air, but here comes the offense going quickly. You got to get lined up now and get ready for another one.
Unleashes one deep. And it's a touchdown. It is also a play in which there is a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. Maybe a momentary scare for that offense when they saw the flag. It's on, the defense declined, and the touchdown stands. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. Aggressive play calling on that drive. Just 2 plays, they get the long touchdown pass to pay it off.
14, West Virginia, 0.
On the move from inside his 5. The coverage team maintains his discipline, not much doing on that return. Pulls and fires complete. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Dropping back, it's late. Just a short pass to the tight end. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Working the middle. Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. From the gun, the running back has it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. They'll run play action. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. They punted on their first drive of the game, and now they have to convert on 3rd down to avoid doing it again. From the gun, wants to pass. Rushes on him. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a 3rd down stop. The Mountaineers send out the punt unit. That first punt was a beauty. They'd take another one just like it. Books it all the way in and now turns his attention upfield. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. He put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going and now right back to work. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Let's talk about Alabama. It has been a season to forget, and honesty compels us to say changes are probably coming.
I'm not sure, but I think Reese Davis just fired a coach. Is that what I heard? I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Listen, hasn't gone well. You've heard the outside noise continuing to get louder and louder. Haven't met expectations. And this is the business we live in college sports, when you get paid a lot of money to do a job and you don't perform.
Listen, at the end of the day in college football, it's results-oriented. They've lost football games this year, and so all signs right now pointing to them potentially making that change before next season. If they're going to stay competitive and they're going to field the best team and program possible heading into next year, then it looks as though a change is inevitable here.
They'll throw again after the incompletion. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, everything was going so well for this team early here in this game, and all of a sudden they get a critical mistake. And you know how college football, David, is about momentum. What is their defense going to be able to do here now when they take the field?
You're right, man. The momentum swings so fast, and now this defense's job is to go out and stop it, right? Like, we made a mistake. You huddle the guys up, sudden change. Be aware they might take a shot down the field, but let's grab the momentum right back.
He'll pull it on the read. Runs through a tackle. He has the first and still on his feet. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
The defense has got to do a better job with assignment football. Somebody has to be accounting for the quarterback on these run plays. You know you're going to see it. You've seen it on film. The option play, nobody home. He just takes off. That's an easy first down pickup for the offense. Moving forward now, the defense, they've got to settle in, and they've got to start playing better when it comes to assignment football.
And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. So Alabama takes the lead into the quarter break, and they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. First play of the period will be a second down. Leaves it with the back. What powerful running, just driving the pile forward for everything he could get. He'll be just a few inches short. Surging forward on the sneak. All down, but he has enough to move the chains. First and goal and a great opportunity to slice into this lead. He'll keep it himself. Came through like a shot and knocked him down for a loss of 5. And the D deny them on second and goal. Made a defender miss. Touchdown, West Virginia. That's the way you finish a drive and put up points. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
And they do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half when you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
He'll try to tack on one more. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Big one this week in the SEC. Heck, they're all big ones in that conference. Tennessee is currently ahead in this one, but unlike the days of Neyland and Fulmer and Majors, this has not been a blowout today in Knoxville. They're up by 7 over Kentucky. It's an outcome that, if it holds, will have SEC fans buzzing all week. Guys?
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Alabama quickly back to the line.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
Caught in the backfield, it's Matthews. And the spin move was sweet and athletic, but not necessarily that productive. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Off play action. Fires to the tight end. And they knock him down. There was nowhere to go. Defense is swarming. You can feel the Mountaineer spirit rising, reverberating across the field on this big 3rd down. To the ground to try to move the chains. Alabama will get the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Running to Green. Sweet cut there. And he'll run across the sidelines after the good gain. Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Guys, let's chat about Alabama. For some teams, the road into the top 25 can be a little more treacherous than for others. And once you get there, you've got to convince the rest of the country you deserve to stay.
And I think that's what's next for this squad. They've earned the right to get in the top 25. People are noticing what they're doing. Now, let's continue to build on it because they haven't proven they're a top 10 team, and they want to get to that point.
Yeah, let's stay.
Turning it on. Got enough space. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. That running back just had a caravan of blockers to take him into the end zone.
There's not very many times at home, Reese, where I'm going to say that everybody watching on their couch could have scored on that play. This is one of them.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. They march 72 yards. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to throw. It's Lay. The throw to the outside is complete. And he's got enough for the 1st down. They'll mark it at the 34.
And these quarterbacks have to really trust their wide receivers that they're going to be disciplined and run to the right route when they're throwing that ball to the outside like that, because those corners are sitting there on the inside, and the worst thing that could happen is to miss inside and that cornerback get going the other direction.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. Looking to throw on 1st down. Snagged out of the air. They stop him just a length or 2 short of the 1st, and man, what they can do on 2nd down here. Wants to go up top. Here comes the heat. It's on target and complete. And they knock him down, but he got past the line to gain. Offense rushing to the line of scrimmage. Clock is stopped for the 1st down. They'll try to get it off quickly. Back open in the middle. Running with some authority as he bangs his way to the 43. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line warp speed for second down. They just keep firing. Looking for the end zone. And that ball was in harm's way, and he is lucky to get that one back. And the Mountaineers come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. He'll do it himself. He gets it oh so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. They punted away on 4th down. You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Grabbed in the middle, it's Bishop.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and be confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on the field.
First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, this matchup on that field there in Morgantown, sign me up for another half. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and in the deep ball, he is a problem. And I don't think this defense has the solution. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Mountaineer Field.
Alabama ready to put a boot to it to start the second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. West Virginia has it, and the offense ready to go to work. Finds the tight end. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Unloads quickly.
Love the play call on the RPO. That time the defender bites on the run fake, and that opens up the window for the slant coming in behind it. Nice job.
He'll sneak it and try to surge forward. The Mountaineers will snap it on 1st and 10.
3rd and 1, everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
Leaves it with the running back. Powers through the defender. And that stiff arm is a weapon for this runner. He uses it and picks up the first down. Dropping back, it's Lay. Just gets rid of it to the running back underneath. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down. Catch in the middle, it's Hurley. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
First down, West Virginia.
Power football with the run.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
To the air on second down. He's got an open man. And this offense is feeling it as they rip off a big chunk of yardage, and they've got it on the 22.
First down, West Virginia.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Second down, they'll go to the air, using the quick game. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. Out of the shotgun on third down. And the incomplete pass will bring up fourth down. So they'll send out the field goal unit. The holder will kneel at the 24, a 34-yarder coming from the right hash. Right down the boulevard, it's good. That cuts into the deficit. It's now 21-10.
How great is it to know that if you can get the ball down somewhere close to the 40-yard line on your opponent's side of the field, you're walking away with at least 3 points because this dude is automatic.
He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner goes down. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. Looking for space, it's Matthews. Pushes ahead for 2. They'll mark it at the 17. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. And a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Now on the option. And he didn't get the pitch off, and he paid the price. Third down coming, and the Morgantown faithful making it tough on this big play. From the gun, wants to pass. On the run, fires downfield. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He'll make a play on third down. He's got enough for the first as they mark it at the 32. He just keeps piling up numbers with completion after completion in this standout performance.
And I think some people might say late in the game, you got the win, everything's in hand, be a little bit conservative, or you just say, I'm just going to keep doing me. And what I do with this offense is throw the football all over the yard, and I'm going to try to win me a big trophy.
There he goes! At the 30. He's at the... And he got away from the defense and takes it in. Touchdown, Kai! They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
And to have a rushing touchdown of that type of yardage, you've got to be able to make something miss. It's one thing to get into the second level, but can you make that last defender miss? And you saw it on that play. Once he was in the clear with his speed, he was gone.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And now with the extra point, they're up by 18 here in the fourth. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Hey, guys, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in the SEC. Tennessee looks like a bunch of world beaters right now, marching all over the field like Smokey in the pregame. They're up 14 over Kentucky. Implications galore inside the SEC, and we'll circle back if anything big should happen.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. He'll be stopped at the 27, but picks up 10 on that one.
First down, West Virginia.
They go to the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking to pass. It's Lay. Going to try to pop one on the screen. He'll get it across the 30-yard line. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 32 as this offense is trying to do some work. Takes it from the gun on third down. Makes the catch. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. And the Mountaineers are moving quickly down the field.
First down, West Virginia.
Quarterback on the keeper. He's stopped dead in his tracks again. No running room to be found. They keep trying it and have had very little success. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Not in lockstep there with the receiver. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the grab past the marker. Oh, what a big play for this offense as they get it to the 33-yard line.
And this defense has really done a good job containing this superstar quarterback. But now it's the big-time moment. In the fourth quarter, you know the ball's going to be in his hands. Got to get to him. Got to ruffle his feathers, hit him a few times, make him feel uncomfortable.
Looking to fire. Got it in the middle. It's Hurley. And they'll get him down, but boy, did he put some dudes in the spin cycle. My goodness.
When you're coming into this game, if they throw completions and get first downs, that's when they like to change up the tempo and go fast. You're seeing it here.
Finds his big tight end. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. The Mountaineers want to move quickly. To the air, it's late. He's got him still on his feet. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be first and goal. And the Mountaineers didn't start this drive with great field position, but they have moved methodically down the field. Lets it go to the end zone. Touchdown, Mountaineers. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Nice job by the offense going down the field, putting points on the board, but you're still down a couple possessions. Still need some good things to happen. You need your kicker to go over there and get warmed up. We need an onside. We need to score some points. We need a lot of things to go right to win this football game.
PAT unit on the field. And they make the extra point to draw closer. It's 28-17. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick.
Well, they try to go onside kick, but that's why they're called the hands team. Great job recovering that ball.
He'll pull it on the read. Got the first down. Looking for more. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. From inside the 40 at the 37, it's first down. They'll move the wide receiver. Jet sweep headed to the edge. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. The defense calls the timeout. They're second of the day as they try to get their act together. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. And the quarterback will just drop to a knee. Not all close games are created equal, but this one, man, what a ride. A matchup between a couple of ranked teams, and certainly it was a memorable one.
No doubt about it. I think there were a lot of eyeballs watching this game, not just fans of these two teams, but people maybe outside of conference affiliation looking in because this is a ranked matchup. So when you get this win, this is huge in the eyes of the committee with respect to the college football playoff. This win just means more.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, for the college football playoff picture, how big is it to get a big win, a ranked win, who now you're probably going to be matched up head-to-head with who's better, who's going to make the playoff. Big feather in the cap, big day for them.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.